It was supposed to be over. The family was shattered, the kingdom had crumbled, and a de facto monogamy was the bitter prize for the last wife standing. We thought we had seen the final act of the Kody Brown saga. We were wrong. Sources deep within the fractured Brown circle, sources we have vetted and who have proven reliable in the past, have come forward with a story so shocking, so hypocritical, and so profoundly disturbing, it threatens to burn down the last remaining remnants of this family. Forget the catfishing, forget the arguments over a moving truck. This is the ultimate betrayal. Our exclusive report confirms what many thought was impossible. Kody Brown, in a desperate, last-ditch effort to reclaim his patriarchal throne, is actively courting a fifth wife. The bombshell, the woman he is pursuing, is Mindy Jessop, Robyn Brown's 25-year-old niece. What is up, sister wives sleuths? And welcome back to the channel. If you thought the story was over, you need to buckle up, because we are just getting started. The information we have is explosive, and it changes everything we thought we knew about Kody, Robyn, and the endgame of this family. We are about to pull back the curtain on a conspiracy of ego and desperation that has been brewing behind the scenes. If you are ready for the unvarnished truth and the deepest dives into this story, do me a favor right now. Hit that like button to signal to the YouTube algorithm that this is the content you want to see. And if you haven't already, subscribe and turn on all notifications. You will not want to miss a single update as this story unfolds. Now, let's get into it. Chapter 1. The Whispers on Coyote Pass. This story didn't break overnight. It started, as most things do in the Brown family, with whispers. For months, our channel has been monitoring the digital breadcrumbs, the strange silences, and the coded messages coming from the Brown camp. While the show focused on the departures of Christine, Janelle, and Mary, a different narrative was taking shape off-camera, in the sterile quiet of Robyn's million-dollar fortress, and on the barren, undeveloped land of Coyote Pass. The first clue was the sudden and unexplained increase in visits from extended family members on Robyn's side. Now, this isn't unusual in itself. Robyn has always maintained a tight-knit relationship with her kin, often to the exclusion of Kody's other wives and children. But the pattern of these visits changed. Our sources, friends of the extended Jessop family, began noting that one person in particular was spending an inordinate amount of time in Flagstaff: Mindy. For those who don't remember, Mindy is the daughter of Robyn's sister. She even lived with Robyn and Kody for a time, acting as a nanny for their children. She was a background player, a footnote in the family's history. Or so we thought. The visit started casually, a weekend here, a few days there. But then it escalated. Mindy was reportedly present for family dinners without other extended family members. She was seen running errands with Kody, just the two of them. This was the first major red flag. Kody Brown, a man who has shown little to no interest in the lives of his own biological children with his former wives, was suddenly investing one-on-one time with his wife's 25-year-old niece. The excuse, we're told, was mentorship. Kody, in his infinite and self-proclaimed business wisdom, was allegedly mentoring Mindy on a potential online boutique she wanted to start. It's an almost laughably thin cover story. The same man whose primary business contribution was the disastrous My Sister Wife's Closet, a jewelry business that became a financial black hole and a source of immense conflict, was now positioning himself as a business guru to a young, impressionable woman. It's a classic Kody Brown playbook move. We saw it with Robyn herself. He wasn't just courting her, he was her hero, her savior, her business partner. He ingratiates himself by creating a dynamic where he holds the power, the knowledge, and the key to their success. He becomes their everything. The question we must ask is, was this a conscious strategy from the beginning or a predator's instinct kicking in? The whispers grew louder. Production crew members, bound by NDAs but communicating through back channels, started talking about a strange energy on set during the filming for the upcoming season. Kody was described as being re-energized, but also more erratic than ever. He was trying to recapture the swagger he had in the Lehi, Utah days, the confident, charismatic patriarch who commanded a room. But now it came across as hollow, a desperate performance. He was a king with no subjects, save for the one wife and her children who were financially dependent on him. And that's when the first piece of hard evidence landed in our lap. A source sent us a photo. It was grainy, taken from a distance, but its contents were undeniable. It showed Kody and Mindy sitting on a bench at a park in Flagstaff. He was leaning in, talking animatedly. She was listening, her body language a mixture of admiration and uncertainty. They were not with any of the children. They were not with Robyn. It looked, for all the world, like a courtship. That photo, which we cannot show for legal reasons but can describe in detail, was the spark that lit the fuse. The whispers were no longer just whispers, they were the preamble to an earthquake. Chapter 2. The Profile of a Pawn. Who is Mindy? To understand the gravity of the situation, we need to understand who Mindy is. She is not just some random woman. Her identity is key to the layers of hypocrisy and betrayal at play. Mindy Jessop is, by all accounts, a sweet, quiet, and deeply devout young woman. Raised in the same fundamentalist Mormon culture as the Browns, she would have been taught from a young age that a woman's highest calling is to be a wife and mother, and that plural marriage, when ordained by God, is a sacred principle. She grew up watching her Aunt Robyn navigate this world, eventually landing what appeared to be the jackpot, a televised, seemingly modern polygamous family. When Mindy lived with Kody and Robyn as their nanny, she saw a very specific version of the family. She saw the A-team. She witnessed the Kody and Robyn bubble firsthand, a world where their children got the lion's share of Kody's attention, their needs were prioritized, and their home was Kody's primary base of operations. She didn't see the neglect Christine was feeling. She wasn't privy to the financial struggles Janelle was enduring. She saw the curated, successful version of the family that Kody and Robyn projected. Think about it from her perspective. Here is her uncle, Kody, a charismatic TV star who, in her world, represents a powerful priesthood holder. And here is her aunt, Robyn, who successfully integrated into the family and became the undisputed favorite. To a young woman like Mindy, this might not look like a dysfunctional mess. It might look like the ideal. Our sources describe Mindy as being very close to Robyn, looking up to her as a role model. This is what makes the situation so insidious. This isn't Kody going out and finding a stranger. He has targeted someone from within Robyn's own camp, someone who trusts Robyn implicitly. Furthermore, there's the age difference. Mindy is 25, Kody is 54. This 29-year age gap is significant, but not just numerically. Kody is the same age as Mindy's own father, maybe even older. He is a contemporary of her parents. This creates an immediate and profound power imbalance. He isn't just an older man, he is an authority figure from a previous generation, a man who is also her uncle by marriage. This isn't Kody finding an equal partner, this is Kody finding a follower. After being challenged and ultimately abandoned by independent, strong-willed women like Christine and Janelle, it's not surprising that he would gravitate towards someone young, devout, and impressionable. He doesn't want a partner anymore. He wants a disciple. He wants someone who will look at him with the same wide-eyed admiration that Robyn once did, before she became a queen in her own right. And here is where the ick factor the user mentioned becomes so potent. The quasi-incestuous nature of this courtship cannot be ignored. While they are not related by blood, the family ties are close enough to feel deeply uncomfortable. He is her aunt's husband. He is, for all intents and purposes, her uncle. This move violates a social and familial taboo that makes the entire situation feel predatory. Was Mindy groomed? It's a heavy accusation, but one we must consider. She has been in Kody's orbit for years, watching him, being taught by her culture to revere a man in his position. Now, in his moment of greatest weakness, he has turned to her, not for family support, but for validation, and, it seems, for a wife. Mindy is not the villain in this story. She is a pawn in Kody's desperate game of chess and a potential victim of his monumental ego. Chapter 3. The Psychology of a Fallen King. Why would Kody do this? Why would he risk the one relationship he has left, his marriage to Robyn, for this? The answer is complex, and it lies deep within the shattered psyche of Kody Brown. To understand this, we have to look at what he has lost. For over 2 decades, Kody Brown was the undisputed king of his own small country. He had 4 wives, 18 children, and a television show that broadcast his patriarchal authority to the world. He made the decisions, he moved the family from state to state on a whim. He controlled the finances, the relationships, and the narrative. He was, in his own mind, a biblical patriarch reborn in the modern age. Then it all fell apart. Christine left. And in doing so, she didn't just leave a marriage. She took a sledgehammer to the foundation of Kody's identity. She publicly rejected his authority and the entire principle he had built his life on. She found happiness, success, and a new love all without him. This was a profound narcissistic injury. Then Janelle, his buddy, his logical and loyal partner, followed suit. She chose her children over him and refused to continue living in a state of neglect and disrespect. Her departure was a quiet, stoic rebellion, but no less devastating. Finally, Mary. For a decade, she had been a wife in name only, a ghost haunting the family, clinging to the hope of reconciliation. Her final official departure was the last nail in the coffin of the original family. So what was Kody left with? He was left in a sprawling house in Flagstaff, with one wife, her children, and a mountain of debt. He was no longer a polygamist. He was, in practice, a monogamist. The very thing he'd preached against, the lifestyle he claimed was inferior, was now his reality. His kingdom was gone. His show, the source of his fame and income, was now centered on his failures. A man with an ego as fragile and as vast as Kody's cannot survive that. He needed to reclaim his narrative. He needed to prove to the world and to himself that he was the prize, that he was the one who was still desirable, still powerful, still the head of a plural family. The courtship of Mindy is not a romantic pursuit. It is a calculated act of defiance. It's a message to his ex-wives. You think I'm finished? Watch me rebuild. Watch me find someone younger, more devout, more loyal than you ever were. It's also a power play against Robyn. For years, the narrative has been that Robyn wanted a monogamous relationship with Kody. Many viewers, and even the other wives, believed that she had subtly manipulated the family dynamics to achieve this outcome. She won. But in Kody's mind, if she won, that means he lost. A patriarch cannot be seen to be controlled by one of his wives. By courting Mindy, Kody reasserts his dominance over Robyn. He is saying, "You do not control me. I am the head of this house, and I will bring another wife in if I choose. And to prove my ultimate power, I will choose someone from your own bloodline. You will have to accept her. You will have to smile and call her sister wife because I am the one who decides." This is Kody attempting to turn back the clock. He is trying to recreate the dynamic he had when he first met Robyn. He was the powerful married man, and she was the young, beautiful single mother who was honored to be chosen by him. Now he wants to experience that ego boost again. Mindy provides the perfect opportunity. It's a desperate, pathetic, and deeply cruel move. It ignores the emotional devastation it would cause. It treats a young woman as a tool for ego gratification. And it sets the stage for the most explosive confrontation the Brown family has ever seen. Robyn said, "You have to tell me you're joking, Kody. This is a sick joke. You're testing me, right? After everything. After all the hell we have been through, you're doing this to test me." Kody said, "Robyn, this is not a test. This is a calling. I have been praying about the direction of this family. The family is broken. I need to rebuild it. The principle is what matters." Robyn said, "The principle? The principle. Don't you dare talk to me about the principle. You let the principle die when you let Christine go. You let it die when you ignored Janelle. You let it die when you abandoned Mary. The principle to you is just an excuse to do whatever you want." Robyn's voice is rising now. The mask is slipping. This is not the demure, tearful Robyn we are used to. This is a woman who sees her throne, the one she fought so hard for, being threatened. Kody said, "I did not abandon them. They abandoned me. They abandoned the covenant. I am trying to honor Pod. I am trying to lead this family back to the light. Mindy understands. She is devout. She believes in our faith." Robyn said, "She's my niece, Kody, my sister's little girl, the baby I used to hold. You looked at my family, my blood, and you saw an opportunity. You are sick." This is the accusation that hits Kody. He stands up, his face contorted in a mask of righteous indignation. Kody said, "Well, how dare you? This is not sick. It's what our culture has always done. We marry within the community to keep the faith strong. You know this. Your own family is a product of these kinds of connections. You are being a hypocrite." Robyn said, "I am not the hypocrite here. You are. You told me I was your soulmate. You told me we had a connection you didn't have with the others. We went through hell, Kody. I stood by you while everyone left, while the whole world called me a homewrecker. I defended you. I lost my sister's wives, who I loved, for you. And this is my reward? You want me to share my husband with the girl who used to braid my daughter's hair?" The raw pain in her voice is palpable. She thought she had won. She thought the war was over and she was the victor, the one true queen. She never imagined that the king would want to add another princess to the court, especially one from her own family. Kody said, "This isn't about you, it's about the family. We need to show the world that polygamy works, that I am still a leader. This will be good for us. It will get us another season. It will bring in more money, and there it is, the truth stripped bare. It's not about Bakinikel. It's not about the principle. It's about his ego and his wallet." Robyn said, "So that's it? You'll sell my family, my niece's innocence for a TV show? You destroyed one family for your ego, and now you're going to destroy what's left of mine for a paycheck?" Kody said, "That is not what this is. You are being dramatic." Robyn said, "I gave you everything. I was the loyal wife, and you have betrayed me. You have betrayed my sister. You have betrayed Mindy. You are not a patriarch, Kody. You are a parasite. Get out." The footage reportedly ends with Robyn sobbing, collapsing onto a chair, and Kody standing there momentarily stunned into silence. He looks defeated, not because he realizes he's wrong, but because he has lost control of the situation. The one person he thought he could always manage has finally turned on him. The queen has been checked by her own king. The irony is staggering. Robyn, who was accused for years of manipulating her way into the position of favorite wife, is now getting a taste of the exact medicine Christine and Mary were forced to swallow for a decade. She is being asked to accept a new, younger, more devout wife, and to do it with a smile. The difference is the new wife isn't a stranger, it's family, and that for Robyn is a betrayal too deep to forgive. This screaming match is not just a fight. It is the detonation of the Kody-Robyn alliance, the central pillar that held up the facade of the Brown family for the last 12 years. And the fallout is only just beginning. This concludes the first part of our deep dive investigation. We have laid out the initial reports, the profile of the key players, the psychology behind Kody's actions, and the explosive confrontation that has set this all in motion. In part 2, we will explore the public and private fallout. We will dissect the joint statement from Christine and Janelle, a statement that is dripping with vindication. We will explore the grand conspiracy theory. Was Robyn in on this from the start, only to have it backfire? We'll follow the money trail straight to the network. And we will ask the ultimate question: what does the future hold? And can anything be salvaged from these ashes? Stick with us. The rabbit hole goes much deeper. If you thought that was the whole story, you were wrong. The initial explosion is often just the prelude to the real chaos. Now we dig into the fallout. The public statements, the private machinations, and the conspiracy theories that are so wild, they just might be true. This is where the story transforms from a family drama into a high-stakes thriller of manipulation and money. Chapter 4. Not surprised, but disgusted. The vindication of the ex-wives. In the immediate aftermath of our initial report breaking through the fan community, the silence from the Brown family was deafening. Kody and Robyn went into digital lockdown. Their social media, usually a space for cryptic quotes and sponsored posts, went dark. But two figures did not remain silent. Christine Brown and Janelle Brown, the two wives who escaped, released a joint statement. It wasn't released through a major news outlet. It was more subtle, more powerful. It appeared, we're told, in a private social media group reserved for their top-tier Patreon supporters, a clear signal that they were speaking to their loyalists. The statement was short, precise, and utterly devastating. Let's break this down because every word is loaded. First, we will not comment on the specifics. This is a brilliant strategic move. It allows them to address the situation without getting dragged into a public mudslinging match. They maintain their dignity and take the high road while simultaneously confirming that they know exactly what the reports are about. Second, the core message. We are not surprised, but we are disgusted. Let's start with not surprised. This is the ultimate vindication for Christine, for Janelle, and for every viewer who saw Kody's true nature years ago. For years, they were gaslit. They were told the problem was their jealousy, their inability to live the principle correctly, their failure to keep sweet. Kody and Robyn framed the narrative as if the family's dysfunction was the fault of the original wives. This statement obliterates that narrative. Not Surprised says, "This is the man we always knew he was. This is Kody who prioritizes his ego above all else. This is the Kody who is capable of profound cruelty in the name of the principle. This is the Kody who craves the adoration of young, pliable women over the respect of his life partners." It tells the world that his behavior with Mindy isn't a new development. It's the final, ugly flowering of a seed that was planted long ago. Christine and Janelle saw this coming, not in its specific form, but in its essence. They are not shocked because they have already seen the depths of his narcissism. Now, for the word disgusted. This is where the emotion comes in. If not surprised is the intellectual confirmation, disgusted is the moral judgment. The disgust isn't just about Kody taking another wife. Christine and Janelle were born into polygamy. The concept itself isn't what repulses them. The disgust comes from the context. It's the predatory age gap, it's the quasi-incestuous family connection, it's the fact that he is targeting Robyn's niece, a young woman who is essentially a child in their eyes, part of the next generation. It's the profound ick factor we discussed in part 1. They are disgusted by the violation of family trust. They are disgusted that Kody is putting his own children, and by extension, Robyn's children, through this public humiliation and turmoil. And perhaps on a deeper level, they are disgusted for Robyn. Despite all the pain and conflict, there was once a sisterhood. They may see Robyn as a woman who is now trapped, reaping the bitter harvest of the toxic system she helped to cultivate. Finally, the closing line, "We stand with all children in the family, and we pray for their peace." This is a masterstroke of shade. They position themselves as the true matriarchs, the protectors of the children, while Kody is the agent of unnecessary chaos. It's a direct condemnation of his leadership. It implies that his actions are actively harming the children, not just their own, but Robyn's as well. It's a statement of moral superiority, and it is completely earned. This joint statement was a perfectly executed maneuver. It allowed Christine and Janelle to have their say, to validate the feelings of their supporters and the audience, and to cement their status as the ones who got away from a sinking ship, all while Kody and Robyn were trapped in the wreckage. It was, in a word, checkmate. Chapter 5. The Grand Conspiracy. Was Robyn a victim or an accomplice? Now we venture deeper into the rabbit hole. We move from the confirmed reports and the public statements into the realm of exclusive theories. And the biggest, most compelling theory circulating in our insider circles is this. What if Robyn knew? What if she wasn't a victim of Kody's plan, but an accomplice whose plan backfired spectacularly? Stick with me here. This theory reframes the entire narrative. The premise is this. Robyn Brown is intelligent. She is a master of emotional manipulation and strategic thinking. For over a decade, she outmaneuvered 3 other women to secure her position and her children's future. The idea that she would be completely blindsided by Kody seems, to some, unlikely. So, let's explore the long con theory. The theory suggests that after the other wives left, Robyn recognized a serious problem. Kody was a broken man, his ego was shattered, and his sense of purpose was gone. A miserable, depressed Kody is not the prize she wanted. Furthermore, the show Sister Wives was on the verge of becoming irrelevant. A show about a failed polygamist and his one remaining wife is not a sustainable concept. The money, the fame, the lifestyle she had become accustomed to, it was all at risk. She needed to give Kody a new sense of purpose. She needed a storyline for the show. What if she, herself, planted the seed of a new wife? According to this theory, Robyn's original plan was to introduce a new wife who would be completely loyal to her, not to Kody. She would find someone young, devout, and from her own family, someone she could control. Mindy would have been the perfect candidate. The plan would be brilliant in its design. It revitalizes Kody. It gives him back his patriarchal identity and makes him feel powerful again. A happy Kody is an easier Kody to manage. It saves the show. It creates a massive, dramatic storyline that guarantees multiple new seasons and a renewed paycheck. It solidifies Robyn's power. By bringing in her own niece, she ensures that the new family dynamic is centered around her bloodline. The new wife would be her ally, her subordinate. She would control the social dynamics of the house. Kody would have his plural family, but Robyn would be the undisputed power behind the throne. She would be the matriarch prime. In this scenario, the initial courtship between Kody and Mindy would have had Robyn's blessing. She would have facilitated it, encouraging Mindy, telling her it was a righteous path. She would have coached Kody, helping him frame it as a spiritual calling. But then something went wrong. The theory posits that Robyn underestimated two key factors: Kody's ego and his capacity for self-delusion. She thought Kody would see the courtship as a strategic move, a kind of business arrangement to save the family brand. She never believed he would actually fall for it. But Kody, desperate for adoration, began to genuinely see Mindy as a romantic prospect. He started to believe his own hype. He wasn't just playing the part of a patriarch courting a new wife. In his mind, he was a patriarch courting a new wife. He started spending more time with Mindy than Robyn was comfortable with. He started making promises to Mindy about her future role in the family, promises that put her on equal footing with Robyn. He started to see Mindy not as an addition to Robyn's court, but as a replacement for the adoration he had lost from Christine, Janelle, and Mary. The leaked screaming match in this context takes on a new meaning. Robyn's fury isn't just about the betrayal of him taking a new wife. It's the fury of a puppet master who has watched her puppet cut its own strings and start its own show. Her line, "I stood by you while everyone left, and this is my reward," isn't the cry of a victim. It's the rage of a co-conspirator who has been double-crossed. She thought she was building a new empire with Kody, one that she would rule. She suddenly realized that Kody was building an empire for himself, and she was once again just one of the players. This theory, while speculative, paints a much more complex and frankly more believable portrait of Robyn Brown. It aligns with the strategic thinking we have seen from her for years. It explains why Kody would make such a seemingly suicidal move, and it explains the depth of Robyn's rage. She didn't just lose her monogamous prize, she lost control of the entire game. So, is she a victim or an accomplice? The truth is likely somewhere in the murky middle. But the possibility that she helped light the match that is now burning down her own house is a chilling and compelling thought. Chapter 6. Follow the money. The TLC connection. In any great conspiracy, you must eventually follow the money, and in the world of the Browns, all money flows from one source: the network, TLC. We cannot discuss this new development without examining the role the network and the production company may have played in it. The reality television business is a brutal one. Ratings are everything. A show's survival depends on its ability to generate drama, conflict, and viral moments. As we've discussed, the slow disintegration of the Brown family has been a ratings goldmine. But what happens when the disintegration is complete? A show called Sister Wives with only one wife is a narrative dead end. A show about Kody and Robyn living a quiet, monogamous life in Flagstaff would be canceled in a heartbeat. The financial pressure on Kody and Robyn must be immense. Their lifestyle, their mortgage, their future, it all depends on the continuation of the show. So we have to ask the uncomfortable question, did TLC or the show's producers encourage this? Let's be clear, this is speculation. But it's educated speculation. Producers are in the business of creating compelling television. Their job is to identify and nurture storylines. It is highly plausible that in meetings with Kody, they expressed concern about the show's future. They may have asked him, "What's next, Kody? What's the story?" A producer might not explicitly say, "You should go marry your wife's niece," but they could easily plant the seed. They could ask leading questions like, "Kody, have you ever considered rebuilding the family? Is the principle of plural marriage still alive for you? The audience is fascinated by the idea of you courting again. Is that something you'd ever be open to?" These are the kinds of prompts that could ignite the gasoline fire of Kody's ego. Hearing from producers that a new courtship would be great for the show would be all the justification he needs. It would allow him to merge his financial desperation with his spiritual and egotistical needs. He could tell himself he was doing it for God, for the principle, and for the family's financial security. The leak of the screaming match footage is also highly suspicious. Who benefits from that leak? Kody and Robyn certainly don't. It makes them look terrible. But the network? A leak like that generates massive online buzz. It creates a firestorm of speculation and anticipation for the new season. It's free viral marketing. Leaks are rarely accidental in reality TV. They are often strategic moves by production to test audience reaction and build hype. So, while Kody is the one driving this car off the cliff, it's very possible that TLC and the producers are the ones who handed him the keys, pointed him towards the edge, and made sure the cameras were rolling. Kody, Robyn, and even Mindy may not be just players in a family drama. They may be actors in a tragedy produced and directed by a network that feeds on their dysfunction. The money trail suggests that this entire crisis serves one primary purpose: to guarantee another season. And in that sense, Kody's desperate move might just be a twisted, tragic success. Chapter 7. The Endgame. What happens now? So where does this leave us? We are standing in the smoking crater of the Brown family, and the future is more uncertain than ever. Let's look at the possible outcomes for each of the key players. Kody has backed himself into a corner. If he backs down now and ends the courtship with Mindy, he looks weak. He will have permanently damaged his relationship with Robyn and proven to the world that he is all bluster. He will be a king with no authority. If he pushes forward, he risks Robyn actually leaving him. While many think this is unlikely due to her financial dependence, the level of betrayal she feels might be a breaking point. Kody could find himself truly alone, a pariah in his own community and a laughingstock to the world. His endgame is bleak. He is chasing a ghost of the man he used to be, and he's destroying everything in his path to catch it. Robyn is facing the ultimate test. Does she swallow her pride and accept her niece as a sister wife? If she does, she loses all respect and becomes a doormat. The very thing she accused the other wives of being, she will have to live every day with the physical embodiment of her husband's betrayal. If she leaves, where does she go? She has no career of her own. She has 5 children to support. Leaving Kody would mean giving up the lifestyle she has so carefully cultivated. Her most likely path, and the most tragic, is to stay. She will become a bitter, resentful queen ruling over a kingdom of ashes, forever locked in a cold war with Kody and her new sister wife. The Sobbin' Robyn persona will no longer be a performance. It will be her permanent reality. The pawn in this game has the most uncertain future. If the marriage happens, she enters a family that is already poisoned. She will be walking into a hornet's nest of resentment from Robyn, judgment from the public, and pity from the rest of the Brown children. She will not be a beloved new wife. She will be a symbol of Kody's desperation and a source of perpetual conflict. If the courtship fails, she is left humiliated. She will be the girl who is courted by her uncle-in-law only to be cast aside. Her reputation within her community could be damaged. Her relationship with her Aunt Robyn will be shattered forever. There is no winning scenario for Mindy. She is the true victim in this entire sordid affair. Christine and Janelle, they will continue to thrive. This entire debacle only serves to make them look wiser, stronger, and more justified in their decision to leave. Their spin-off show, should they get one, is now all but guaranteed. They are free, and every new disaster from the Kody camp is another reminder of the prison they escaped. Their future is bright. The show will get at least one more explosive season. The ratings will likely be higher than ever. TLC will have successfully squeezed the last drops of drama from this family. But it will be the show's final act. It will not be a show about a functional plural family anymore. It will be a televised autopsy. So, there you have it. The full story, from the first whispers to the grand conspiracy. The courtship of Mindy Jessop is not just another Brown family drama. It is the culmination of everything that has been rotting at the core of this family for years. Kody's unchecked narcissism, the poison of favoritism, the corrosive influence of fame, and the hypocrisy of a man who preaches family values while actively destroying his own. This is a story of vindication for those who left and a story of bitter irony for the one who stayed. Robyn Brown, the queen who wanted a king all to herself, is now faced with the reality that her king would rather burn the entire kingdom down than rule it with just her. The problem was never the other wives. The problem was never the houses, the moves, or the fights over trivial things. As this final, desperate act proves beyond a shadow of a doubt, the problem was always Kody. What do you think? Is Robyn a victim or an accomplice? Will Kody go through with it? Let me know your most detailed theories in the comments below. This story is far from over, and we will be here to cover every single twist and turn. Thank you for joining me on this deep dive. Until next time, keep your eyes open.